share this with us in just a moment. But before I turn the time over to you, I'd like to share a little bit about you with your family and friends that are here tonight that might not know a little, so if you'll just bear with me. It was 60 years ago yesterday that Bodine and Reuben planned to visit the local justice of the peace to fulfill become man and wife. They were living in Monterey, California at the time. Reuben was in the Navy, stationed there, and Bodine was a waitress in a little Korean restaurant that he liked to frequent. Now, the reason I say it was 60 years ago yesterday and not today, their anniversary, is that Bodine's grandmother, Grandma Goldie, also lived in Monterey, California. Grandma Goldie hit the brakes on this young couple's little joyride to matrimony. You see, at the time, Bodine was an only child, and Grandma Goldie pointed out to them that it just would not do to be married without the mother of the bride and attendant. This presented a little bit of a problem since her mother, my Grandma Gloria, had to work that day. I know that doesn't sound like much of a problem, but Gloria was a businesswoman with a restaurant of her own, and she couldn't just close down business and run down to the Justice of the Peace on such short notice. After all, that little restaurant of hers was over 200 miles away. So, not to worry. Love, as they say, conquers all. Of course, Grandma Goldie was not to be deprived either of seeing her only granddaughter wed. So the three of them loaded up in Grandma's 1946 Graham automobile for the long trip ahead. With Reuben at the wheel, off they went. Now realize, this was no little jaunt through the countryside. There were no freeways or interstates like we're used to, just a lot of two-lane country roads and a grandmother in the back seat as a chaperone. Not that they really needed a chaperone, mind you. Reuben's hands were full of steering wheel, and his nose was pressed against the windshield, keeping the old Grand on the road through one of the worst rainstorms in recorded history for Central California. It was a long, wet, and treacherous drive, tempered only by their anticipation of their impending wedding and the bliss that it promised. After many hours, they did finally arrive in the small town of El Dorado, California, late that evening. And as you might imagine, of most small towns, El Dorado was typical in that everyone pretty much knew everyone else. That included, of course, the local justice of the peace, with whom my Grandma Gloria was well acquainted. The justice, it seemed, had a meeting to attend that night, but we would be happy to stop by the restaurant on his way home to perform the ordinance. The meeting ran a little late, but to my great relief, he did, and as near to the stroke of midnight as one could want, Bodine and Reuben were pronounced man and wife. So what began 60 years ago yesterday was completed 60 years ago today, and it has been upon this day celebrated for the last 60 years. God bless you both. Now, Mom and Dad, will you please favor us with the expressions of love and devotion that you've prepared for us? Step to the center and...
This day, our day 60 years ago, as on that day, I want to express my undying love and devotion. You are part of me. You are the best part of us.
I am blessed to be your wife. I didn't always deserve you. The best thing I ever did was marry you, and I didn't always deserve you, but I always loved you. And I will always love you for the rest of my days and beyond. Today, in front of our children and grandchildren, I am proud. First of all, I'm proud to be your wife, and today I'm proud to reaffirm my wedding vows to you. I love you too.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for this beautiful sentiment for sharing that with us. You can have your seat of honor here. And if somebody has my mom's shawl or whatever, I'll take it right here. You know, there's a favorite story I like to tell about Albert Einstein. He actually started out in psychology. He wanted to unlock the mystery of the female psyche.